Hi guys, Marenghi here. Hope you're doing well. So today, I have a slightly grim tale for you, but it's all true, if that's any consolation. This is about my experience of living with a dead body. So, a few months before we found out my housemate was dead, the police had come for him in the middle of the night, dressed for action in all black and stuff with weapons. It was very strange. I answered the door. It was like 4 a.m. eventually, after hoping the knocking would go away. And he wasn't in. And they said, "Have you seen this man?" And held up a picture of like a sort of mid-40s, gaunt, bald, Polish face, who was indeed the guy in the studio flat next to me in the house of studio flats. His door was literally this far from my door. And I said, yeah, he does live there, but he keeps strange hours and he comes and goes. I don't know where he is. And his TV was always on with like the monotone Polish male voice translating everything. So God knows what he was watching, but it always sounded like that kind of thing, without doing a terrible Polish accent. Anyway, so fast forward a few months. No, I'll hang on that for a bit actually. So the police said, "Here's our chief inspector's private number. You need to call him when this guy comes back." I was like, okay. So then he came back the next day, the guy, Petro, and I told him, I said, "Dude, the police came. The police came round for you. And they told me to ring this number when you did, but I'm not going to, so here you go. I guess it's up to you how you deal with it." And he was like, "Oh, it must be my TV license." Which living with him for months and his TV always been on, I guess I wanted to believe it, and it was the main thing I knew about him. We spoke a bit and got on, but I thought, yeah, I guess if his TV license is always on. But I later thought, and people said, why would they send like a riot squad in the middle of the night? Anyway, so I did that, and then he even came to my room with an open envelope addressed to the TV license people asking for a stamp. So it was strangely convincing. Anyway, the police came around a few nights later, and he was in, and they arrested him. And I heard them saying, "Let's not make a scene out of this, Petro. Like, don't be a silly boy. Don't run away, and we won't put handcuffs on you and save any embarrassment. But you've got to come with us to the station when you know what you've done." And that was the last time I saw him. I heard of him because he was away for a while, and then a few months later, I came back from visiting up north for a bit. The smell was always bad in that house, like damp, decaying sort of smell, old Victorian house. And I was just going in my room quite late, 10 or 11 at night, and one of my other housemates said, "Have you heard?" I heard what? That Petro's dead. The police came for his body this afternoon, and the house really did stink, and it sank in at that point that the smell was a decomposing body. And this guy, bless him, he was okay, but his room stank, and he was alive. I'm in there a few times, food sometimes and stuff. So that was quite grim. And my housemate had said they'd noticed maggots coming out from under his door, which was right next to my door. So I went to my partner at the time's house and just sort of laid there in shock. And then went to my house the next day, and there were like 100 dead or dying flies on the floor in my room. I exaggerate not. Lots of dead or dying flies. And I thought, this is the first time it happened in like a year and a half, that fly thing. I thought, that's got to be to do with the dead body. That's disturbing, disgusting. So I hoovered them all out. And I went to go and teach, and then the next day I came back, before staying at my ex's again. But that, 3 consecutive times in a row that I came back, there were dead flies on the floor. 100, maybe 80, then 50. And I just assumed so presumptuously it was to do with the dead body. And after like the 4th time, I was like, this is ridiculous. So I was sort of researching it, and apparently it was just a massive coincidence, nothing to do with dead body. What cluster flies come into your house if it's a poorly insulated Victorian house, which ours was. in the winter and hibernate in the cracks and the nooks and crannies, and then can't get out when it gets warm again in the summer, and then just die or start dying inside the room that they've taken solace in, taken shelter in. So that was pretty bad. And I just handed in my notice after I found out he died, my 2-month notice, and I tried to avoid the house as much as possible, but obviously you had to go there quite a lot. And the smell, I can't describe the smell. Ungodly is what I'd say, and not in a good way. Yes, the smell was really bad. I had to throw away loads of stuff. When we moved house, I had to wash loads of stuff over and over again. A few little things to throw in with that. So the derealisation and stuff had started a few weeks before this, and then the dead body didn't help. And then the house opposite, which had always been a bit dodgy and screaming in an East London kind of way, which people will know what I mean if they live in certain rough parts of East London, had become a full-on crackdown with police raids regularly and just people staggering around screaming outside the street and lots of conflict and people just with severe mental problems around the place. And then a lady suffering schizophrenia moved in. Ended up becoming acquainted with, in a way, and then she told me she had a crazy psycho jealous boyfriend afterwards. A friend of mine got his face smashed in with a brick, just out on my street, on his way to teach at a school that was around the corner, because he'd got involved in a domestic dispute, which I've been warned before, and this kind of proves you should maybe never get involved in because they end up turning on you. And the guy is now in prison because of how severe this injury was. And my friend's face is you can tell he's been hit very hard with the brick. So, yes, a little, I should have told us at Halloween really, a little grim horror story for you there about living with a dead body. That's probably my most grim video yet. But if you liked it, please like. Down below, subscribe, share it any way you like. I've got other videos on culture and religion, mental health, drugs, love. They're the playlist titles so far. Miscellaneous as well. Links to my music down below. Don't worry, that's as cold as the water gets. It doesn't get much more grim than that for me anyway, I don't think. Yes, the dead body, the decomposing body smell of someone who already smelled quite a lot is unspeakable and makes me think of people in the trenches, you know, who are living on the bodies of their friends, and just how utterly unimaginably awful that would be compared to anything you or I have experienced. And on that note of comparative humility, whatever it is, I will end the video. Alright guys, take care, bye.